Gundam.tk presents HGUC Banshee Destroy Mode. Hey, what's up again, everybody? It's Robert184, 2Rs2Bs, GundamReviews.net, and I couldn't be happier today to bring you this look at the high-grade Universal Century. This is the RXO Unicorn. This is the number 2 machine, the Banshee, and this is in its Destroy mode. You can also buy it in its Unicorn mode, and that is sold separately, but this one is certainly a lot more interesting with a lot more psycho frame on display. So let's take a look at how this is going to look on somebody's shelf. This was a very late 2011 release, and the Destroy mode sells for 1,800 yen. Now, if you're a fan of the Unicorn Gundam, when you see the side box tour, you'll be pretty much unimpressed perhaps, because it's basically, let's just take the old familiar red and white Unicorn and just turn it into orange/gold, and then give it a very cool V-fin, and that V-fin there is enough for me to want to buy this. Combine that with the fact that unlike the regular Unicorn Gundam, it's going to have these two unique looking weapons, which are apparently unique to the OVA. We'll see a lot more of that in episode 5, but this guy is looking pretty cool when he's all put together. On the back, you can see again all that psycho frame. I'm not sure how the orange is going to look compared to the black as opposed to the red on white, so we'll have to see that in practice. And some very cool CG art there. If it lights up like this, imagine a perfect grade with lights inside. That is only something that you can dream about. Some information about the actual mobile suit, and you can see there that it's got a head height of 21.7 meters, meaning that this, even in high-grade Universal Century, is going to be fairly substantial, probably about 15 centimeters, and it's only going to be larger once it gets its master grade release this early 2012. To the other side, where you get to see it posed on an action base too there, and it's looking pretty good. Lots of yellow details sticking out as they're showing off. All of this in the master grade, of course, you'll have to transform, but in this one it's going to be automatic. You can't seal up those knees even if you want to. You can see that it's going to have pretty good mobility though, because you don't have to worry about a transforming inner frame. The legs are going to move 00 style, the head is going to move up and down, the shoulders are looking impressive, and that torso section may actually be more impressive than the old version KA master grade. Over here you can see some of the other things. You're going to have the armed armor, this BS and the VN. Basically large, you've got a big gun there that's going to look pretty cool and very new Gundam, high new Gundam-ish in terms of the funnels. And you're going to have this claw type thing, which looks like it's going to open up, and you can see a little bit of yellow in there, which certainly adds to the whole mystique of the inner frame. And here, if you're going to buy this and put it together and put in no effort whatsoever, you can see that the colors on the inside here, they're going to make this picture way too small to show it off. But it's going to look a lot more orange than as opposed to the bright gold yellow that it seems to be on the painted ones by the pros all around here. And if you take a look over here, this is it, the same Gundam, but it's not in its regular state, the Unicorn mode. This is the cooler of the two though, which is why this is the one that I wanted to pick up. You can see that this one's going to have a variation of the weapons where they're folded up, a lot more black all over the place, and it certainly won't have anywhere near that much inner frame visible. I should note that the Unicorn mode is going to be 1,600 yen compared to 18 here for the Destroy mode, unlike the regular RX0 Unicorn, which was 1,800 for this and only 15 for its Unicorn mode. Inside the box, here you're going to see on the top stickers, and gold parts are orange there, along with some gold polycaps, very familiar to the Strike Freedom. You're going to have some orange inner frame here, along with some gray under there. On this part, it looks like the A plate, you're going to have some black, gray, and a yellow part up in the corner, to go along with a whole bunch of black parts there. More black, 2 plates here in the bottom, and the manual, and again, that painted image is looking fantastic. An up-close look at the plates reveals a few pleasant surprises. First of all, I did not even realize that this guy had different colors in it. You're going to have some black down there, and you're actually going to have blue for the rest of the overall body. So it's interesting that there is going to be the differentiation, especially there you can see for the backpack where it's going to get lost, but down on the feet, which is pretty familiar for any Unicorn mode. Anyway, you're going to have this little part up here. This orange looks to be identical to what you'll see on the E plate for the inner frame, and a whole bunch of gray there because it does actually have a fairly complex inner frame. So as mentioned, the B plate is going to be blue, and you can see that this is going to make up the majority of the body and things like the shield. You're also going to have the head parts on there, 2 sides, and you've got the tiny little front mask there, which actually has good channels if you want to put in some lining. I don't know how much black ink you'll actually see on there, but overall this is looking good, and I wonder how it's going to work with the orange. 2 identical blue C plates here, and you can see that you're going to have the parts for the outside of the shield. You can see the leg thrusters in there, the complex looking shoulders, and those forearm parts. There's a lot of little details, and if you've seen my review of the HGUC Unicorn Gundam, you can see how well these bring this whole Unicorn kit idea to life. The D plate isn't going to be blue, it's going to be the same gray that you see there on the A plate, and this is going to give you the beam magnum, the bottom of the feet, the extra ammo clip for the back, and some more inner frame including thrusters and the 00 style hip joint. But let's get on to the important matter. This is the E plate, which is going to be the inner frame. With the regular Gundam, this is see-through red. With this one, it's going to be orange. You can't call it yellow, you can't call it gold. And it looks a little bit different even if you've built the Strike Freedoms and things like that from the pseudo gold that they use for that. So it is going to be a little bit different. You can sort of see that it's ever so slightly translucent in various lights, but that's something when it's covered up by black and blue armor, you're hardly ever going to see it, I'm sure. You can see pretty much this is familiar for if you've already built the regular Unicorn Gundam. You've got the big parts for the shield, the backpack, the shoulders, and a lot of this you do have lining opportunities all over the place if you want to go ahead and use those. But overall, I've got to say that it's a somewhat disappointing color and not something that you'd want to buy the kit just for this color alone. I do find it strange though that this is the same price as the regular Unicorn Gundam in destroy mode, because at 1800 yen, this one is going to have an F and a G plate, and this is going to be, it's going to give you an extra manipulator and also all the parts for the armored arms, which are those big weapons that he's got, or she, on either arm. And in addition to the face part that you're going to have on the A plate, you're also going to be getting a G plate. To go along with the E, it's the same color overall. I was thinking it might be a little bit different, but pretty much identical. I will call it identical. You're going to have a very big neck plate there, which is going to stand out in a bad way sometimes. Those very cool looking Banshee unicorn horns that are going to open up and look fantastic. And these parts are going to go inside the armored arms and help bring this F plate to life and actually have a whole bunch of blue and gold together. And finally, here's the polycaps. This is PC132 so that you can see the goldish color, if you want to call it that, compared to the color that you're going to be getting for the Psycho frame. A whole lot of seals, some of them pretty much expected. You've got the camera lenses up there and evil red eyes, yes, because this is a bad unicorn. You're also going to have this part in this blue. It looks a little bit black there, and that's going to cover up the shoulder parts that flip up in the master grade. They're all made out of plastic. On the high grade, you're going to have to cover them up with seals. Looks like you've got a Neo Zeon, Neo Zeon mark there. And then you've got these gold parts which are going to go and add that yellow trim all over the place. But again, that's going to look a little bit out of place when you've got orange everywhere else and shiny gold to bring out those little details. Classic HGUC kind of instruction manual here, and you can also see Gundam UC Unicorn. Love that play on the UC thing. This is really looking good though when it's painted up, even though they didn't do any lining there on the inner frame. But I digress. To the inside where you're going to have a color splash page and that very cool looking pose, and that is some impressive looking art up there. You can see the armored arms, the VNs, and you can see the Psycho frame showing off here. Here you've got the armored armor, and that's the BS parts. You can also see the unicorn mode. That's number 135 in the HGUC, and that's sold separately for 1600 yen. And yes, if you wanted to collect all of the HGUCs from Gundam, I've only got a couple. I really like the Jesta, but there are some very cool, very classic, and very new designs in there. It's a fantastic line overall. With no transformation to worry about, you've only got a 4-page manual here, as is normal for HGUC. You can see that there's a lot of plates though there for a 1/144th kit. Pretty much build up the upper body and all the weapons, and then you can put that all together with the lower body. The 4th color page is going to show you just the rest of putting it all together. You can see that there's a lot of details. It's great to see. They really focus though on this being blue instead of black on here for the manual. And once you've got it all put together, they're not going to show you how to put it onto an action base or how to pose it or anything. They're assuming that you can do that yourself, and if you want to copy these, I'm sure that you can. To the back, you do have a few more action poses that you can copy there. You can see that the armored arms is looking pretty cool. Again, all the features that they're showing off, including all of its mobility, that great art, and this color guide. I just thought I'd point out this one. What they're saying is black 40%, and then you've got blue-gray 30, blue 20, and purple 10% is supposed to be the main color there for the unicorn, and the backpack and the feet. Yeah, that's just 100% black. Also interesting that they talk about for the Psycho frame that you can spray some clear orange on top of that, and that would be pretty interesting, but also they give you the option of using a Real Touch marker, and they're saying to use the Real Touch orange there to put that in, and then you can get that effect and then just rub off the excess, and that could add a certain level of realism to this otherwise a little bit disappointing color. Overall, I'd say there's a lot of good things and bad things about this, starting with the price, 1800 yen, and you're getting up to G for plates, and really looking impressive. You've got doubles in there as well. Lots of stickers though, sadly, and they are not going to match because of the shiny gold. I'm not too crazy about that. It may be worth painting, we'll have to see how that goes, but overall, I think if you just put it together, it's interesting to see that it's blue instead of black, and that you are going to have that additional black color, which I did not know about until now. So overall, could be a lot of fun, would look great next to a regular HGUC Unicorn Gundam. But which one would you prefer? Do you like the destroy mode? Do you like the unicorn mode? For me, I'm all about the destroy mode. But why don't you let me know what you think with a comment down below about the video, about the anime, and about its vague appearance or brief appearance in episode 4 and what we can expect from episode 5. Anyway, everybody, Robert184 gundam.tk. Thanks for watching. See you next part. 40% black, blue gray, blue purple, 25.3. Yeah, forget about it. I'm just going to keep the blue the exact same color that it is right out of the box.